And down the stretch we come. All right, we're off on a Friday. Welcome in. Welcome in. Congratulations, everybody. You have officially made it to the weekend. You know, in some degree, in some way, you've made it to the you've made it to the weekend. You know, it kind of depends on where you are. But here, it's officially like afternoon on a Friday. So welcome in. It is Super Bowl Eve. Yep. So we're a couple days away. We got Super Bowl coming up. Baseball scrimmage this weekend. Weather's supposed to be nice for a lot of folks this weekend. So there's a lot to be happy about and a lot to look forward to. And I hope you'll get on in here today on this show and we can go whatever direction you want to go. And there's lots of ways for you to be a part of it. Here in the Bureau, the Farm Bureau Insurance Studio. Farm Bureau Insurance, go with the home team. They are your home team at Farm Bureau Insurance all across the great state of Mississippi. Your hometown heroes, that's your local Farm Bureau Insurance agents. Hey to you, out there in live stream land, social mediaville. If you're on Facebook or YouTube or X and you're seeing this, there's lots of ways for you to be a part of the show. Not only can you text or call, and I'll give you those numbers, but if you're on those streams, Facebook, YouTube, X, just type in your comment, okay, post it. It pops up here nice and neat. And there's one column from every place that they could possibly come in, those comments. They come in and I can see them all in one place. Click them and put you up on the screen. Comments, questions, opinions, otherwise. It's a good way to be a part of it, so get on in here. That way you can also text the show on the Country Pleasin' text line. Country Pleasin' sausage on grocery store shelves all around the Southeast. It's the best. Hands down. Now, at Country Meat Packers on Highway 49 in Florence, Mississippi, where Country Pleasin' comes from, they have the deli and the butcher market and everything, and they're really, really busy every day at about lunchtime, especially on Fridays, particularly on a Friday before Super Bowl, of Super Bowl weekend. And so that's why Aaron and I, and if y'all have ever been to Country Meat Packers where Country Pleasin' comes from, you've probably run into Aaron. You probably know him. If you follow him on social media, like on, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, you've seen Aaron. He's always putting out how to this and how to cook that and how to prepare this. And here's what we got. You've seen Aaron on there. And that's why he and I think, played phone tag just a minute ago as the show was starting. I tried to call him, missed him, and then he tried to call me back just now as we started the show. And the reason I was trying to get in touch is I have something in the freezer that I intend and have been saving and intending to thaw out and cook and prepare for the Super Bowl this weekend to eat, on Super Bowl Sunday. It is 2 great big chicken breasts that are stuffed with some really good stuff from like a 4 cheese type of mixed thing from Country Pleasin'. And on the package, it says chicken breast, 4 cheese, and bacon. Okay. The thing is, I was trying to find out exactly what that chicken breast is stuffed with that came from Country Meat Packers, because it's not just cheese. It's 4 cheese and bacon, and it's like I think it's some shredded chicken. It's like almost like a souped up chicken salad type of thing. Now, but I was trying to find out because they also have stuff, and that may be what this is. I just couldn't tell. That is stuffed with a super duper mac and cheese. And this may, like macaroni and cheese. That may be what this is. The instructions, I took a picture of the package here with my handy dandy iPhone from C Spire. C Spire, the #1 network in Mississippi. It said ingredients in this: chicken, Colby Jack cheese, Monterey Jack cheese, pepper jack cheese, and cheddar, and bacon, chives, lemon pepper, and barbecue sauce. Cooking instructions. Now these are huge chicken breasts. They came off a big chicken. And stuff, they're even bigger. Place in a pan and cover with lid or foil. Okay. But here's what confused me, because I'm not a connoisseur and I'm not a great cook, and Aaron is the best. And Real C, maybe you can advise me on this too if you're listening. Place in a pan, cover with a lid or foil. Cook at 350 degrees for about 45 to 60 minutes, and it says individually. Wrap tight in foil. You need an internal temperature of 165. Same thing on the grill. Now, here's the thing, though. This confused me on the instructions. What is it for those that do a whole lot of cooking, you know this kind of stuff like, the back of your hand? Cook at 350 degrees for about 45 to 60 minutes individually. All right, there's two of them. There's two of these big stuffed chicken breasts. And you talk about looking good now. This 4 cheese and bacon mix that it's stuffed with. But if it's 350 degrees for 45 to 60 minutes individually, does that mean 45 minutes for one? And then an hour and a half if it's two, because it's 45 minutes apiece? You see what I'm saying? Or is it, do I put two in there, same temperature, cook them both 45 minutes? Now, I know that may be a dumb question, but I may have an answer. I can't tell you how good those things look either, and I've been saving them for this weekend. You can text me your cooking instructions on the Country Pleasing text line. The number to text is 885-3776, a 601 number, 885-3776. You can call me, and that way I get to hear your voice on the junction phone. And for somebody like me, I've always been someone who I am going to remember things and grasp things so much better when I hear them and see them versus read them. So, Real C, maybe you should have called me on the junction phone. Junction delis all across the state of Mississippi. Fueled by Prince Oil Company. They've been fueling central Mississippi since 1960. It's like you pull up to the pump, fuel in your tank, then you go inside, a little fuel in your belly from the Junction Deli. Number to call, 897-1059, 601-897-1059. J-Rock texted in. He said, I think that means wrap them individually. All right. So 45 to 60 minutes, but, wrap them up individually. Real C, he's the man. Said put them both on the grill and let them roll. Same amount of time. Buy a cheap internal thermometer and use to watch the internal temps. Well, thankfully, because of the Junction and Junction delis around the state of Mississippi, fueled by Prince Oil Company, I don't have to try to myself figure out what that means. We've got the man on the phone, on the Junction phone line on line one. He is Real C. Real C, help me out, or help a brother out, as they say. What do I do?
Well, you did call me out and told me to call, so by golly, you asked and you shall receive.
I appreciate that. It kind of makes me feel powerful. Okay, but here's my question. So it said it's two of them. They're huge and they're stuffed. This 4 cheese and bacon thing, it said cook at 350 degrees for 45 to 60 minutes individually wrapped tight in foil. I misread it earlier. Mm-hmm. When you said on the grill and let them roll, what do you mean?
Let them cook.
Okay.
Whatever temperature they're recommending, get your grill to that temp.
Okay.
And it doesn't matter if you're putting 1 or 10 of them on there. If they say they need to cook at that temperature for this amount of time, then that's what you do.
Okay.
You don't add them up and say, okay, 35 minutes a piece or something. No, No,
we're not. I don't have to do any math.
That's not how that's working.
Okay.
No math. No, the mathing doesn't belong in grilling.
Okay.
And to be fair, I personally, I'm not saying it's wrong or right.
Yeah.
I don't cook for time.
Okay. Temperature.
I cook for temperature.
I was going to ask you that because you said get the the internal thermometer deal and just check the temps.
Yeah, it's all you got to do is you've got a local hardware store or Home Depot or whatever somewhere around there, or some grocery stores probably have them.
Yeah.
Just a little internal thermometer.
All right.
It's going to have a little, the thermometer end of it, kind of a stainless steel looking probe kind of thing. Well, most of them kind of fold up like an old pocket knife.
Right. See, you know what, Real C? I'm almost certain that the Homecoming Queen already has one of those, and I just can't thank you for the advice enough. Hey, the music's about to cut you off, but seriously, thank you so much.
Okay. Well, just keep stabbing them and watch your temp. Don't worry about the time. Get them to 165.
This is Jake, man.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi. Local agents in all 82 counties. So here's what that means. You have that fender bender, hopefully you don't, but let's say you do at an odd time. Something goes on. It's Saturday night at 11 p.m. You don't have to wait until Monday morning to call some 800 number and talk to someone 3 states away. You've got your agent's phone number right there on your phone because you go to church with him. Your kids go to school together. He lives right down the road. You see each other at the ball games on Friday nights. So it's personal with your local Farm Bureau insurance agent in all 82 counties in this entire state. And if anything does arise and you need to, run it up the chain or up the flagpole, the home offices for Farm Bureau Insurance are in Jackson, Mississippi. It's right here in the state of Mississippi. It doesn't get more local than and personal, the service that you get with Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi. I can't recommend them highly enough. And if you haven't, recently, let them give you a quote. Home, life, auto. It's Farm Bureau Insurance. Go with the home team.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Well, look at what we have here. Christmas come early. Boom. Little green onion country pleasing. That's not all. Little original smoked sausage flavor. That's not all. Jalapeno and cheddar. It has to be one of my favorite, just judging by how much of that stuff I eat. Oh, can't forget. Andouille. Don't be saying andouille, it's andouille. And last, but not least, pork and pineapple, bun size, 3 links bun size. Look at that right there. Be careful. Come on with it. It's mine. Come here, jalapeno. Oh, that's all mine. Country pleasing sausage. We'll be right back after this message from C Spire. My name is Matt Wyatt. I host the Matt Wyatt radio show out of my home using C Spire fiber.
And when we hit the road as a family, Matt's show goes with us, thanks to C Spire Wireless.
Its ultra-reliable nationwide network lets me broadcast live from anywhere.
And never miss a moment that matters.
Connecting you to what inspires you most on C Spire's blazing fast 5G network. And right now, get your choice of free phone. That's customer inspired. That's C Spire.
Y'all like coffee? I know you do. Check it out. Little High Point Roasters from New Albany, Mississippi. That is the breakfast blend. It's whole bean. And if you notice, that's how much I've had already. Brazil Oberon. Not Ogeron or Orgeron, you LSU. No, Brazil Oberon. That ain't all. What we got there? What flavor is that? Papua New Guinea grade AA. Bring it on. High Point Roasters, New Albany, Mississippi. Roasted right there. That's whole bean. One more. I got more.
Or even losing a game. You're going to hear about them all and get to talk about it with Matt Wyatt right here, right now on the Zone 105.9 and worldwide at thezone1059.com.
Back with you. I'm Matt in the Bureau, the Farm Bureau Insurance Studio. On Facebook a minute ago, Gene said, Happy Maroon Friday, Matt. Back at you, Gene. Thanks for being here. Jack said, good afternoon from Alabama, the great state of Alabama. Sweet home, Alabama. Jack, thanks for being here on Facebook. On YouTube, Sven, the first comment, he said, if Matt's weather forecast is for real, I expect at least 15,000 people inside the Dude Friday at 4 p.m. Now, okay, Sven, to clarify, when I was talking about it earlier this week, I was talking about today and tomorrow because tomorrow there's going to be an open scrimmage, state baseball at Dudy Noble from 2 to 5. They're calling it Dog Day at the Dude. They're going to have an open scrimmage, and at some point autograph signings and, some stuff for kids to do and all that. And the weather, we were excited because, but we started looking at it end of last week. We were still ice in half the state was covered with ice and getting down to 13 degrees at night. But, for example, today in North Mississippi, we are sunny and 66 degrees. And tomorrow, it's a high of like mid-50s and sunny for the scrimmage deal. Do we get, yeah, all right. The bad news is, that's the good news. The bad news is for opening weekend next weekend, as of right now, there will be, it says in the 10-day forecast, as of right now, next weekend, opening weekend, there's some rain in the forecast. As of now, again, we're so many days out, there's about a 50% chance Friday and Saturday. Now, the temperatures are good, and it looked like there's a little bit, maybe more of a chance of it rolling through there in the middle of the day at game time on Saturday, whereas Friday, it's like early that morning and then late that night. So maybe Friday's low. But the good news is, again, they're saying warm opening weekend next weekend, 61 degrees. And, so it should be bearable. But tomorrow should be really nice for that scrimmage. We shall see. And Real C, I know we got cut off, but thanks again for the advice. And he followed it up. Those stuffed chicken breasts, get them to the internal temp, pull them off the grill, regardless of how long they've been on there. He said he prefers slower, lower temperatures over a fast and hot one. He said 325 to 350 is fine. And that's what they recommended. 350, and then it gave you the internal temp. See, so y'all are on the same page. I'm going to do it. I want to follow your instructions and do it right. And right now we're going to do headlines. Here we go.
Good evening. I'm Ron Burgundy, and this is what's happening in your world.
Good evening, and welcome to Eyewitness News.
Here's what's making news.
Headlines on the show that you may want to know or you need to be aware of. Brought to you by the Mortgage Man Group, powered by Luminate Bank right here in Mississippi. So anything mortgage related, that's where you want to go if you're buying or refinancing here in the metro, anywhere like that. Places like Oxford and Tupelo and Starkville and all the way to Memphis and points in between. Go there. MortgageManMS.com. Got it? Drew Brees headed into the Hall of Fame. Pro Football Hall of Fame announced its 2026 class. They had the NFL Honors Awards last night. 5 players, including quarterback Drew Brees and receiver Larry Fitzgerald, selected for enshrinement later this year. They're going to be joined by Adam Vinatieri, linebacker Luke Kuechly, as well as Roger Craig, who's an all-time great for Beavers 49ers back in the day when they were always great. Pretty good now. They used to be great. Is there a difference? I think there is. I did see a story here that said, but this 2026 class, kind of like the ones before it, are also going to be noted for those who didn't make it in. Last year, it was former Giants QB Eli Manning. This year, it's going to be Patriots coach Bill Belichick and owner Robert Kraft. And so, yeah, that's going to be part of the story. Part of the story. Also in the NFL, you had Matthew Stafford winning the NFL MVP. It's the closest vote they've ever had for the NFL MVP since 2003, it's said. He just barely edged out Drake May of the Patriots, who's got his team in a Super Bowl. And this couple of college football headlines. You ready? First up. Now, this was mentioned on the show. It's actually, it's not breaking news today, but I didn't talk about it a ton because I didn't have details in front of me. And I'm reading a story here that was sent to us. The NCAA denied Ole Miss's appeal for Trinidad Chambliss' 6th year of eligibility. The school confirmed that this week. They're going to direct his fight to play college football to state court in Mississippi. The waiver, which was denied by the NCAA Athletics Eligibility Subcommittee, was for that medical red shirt stemming from his 2nd year at Ferris State in 2022. So now they go to state court and just, again, let's just sue and get what we want. Then this, finally, headline number 4. The Southeastern Conference is distributing more than $1 billion, that's billion with a B as in boy, $1 billion to its 16 universities for the fiscal 2024-25 school year, ended last August. The total distribution jumped more than $200 million from the previous year. The current total includes $37.4 million retained by the universities that participated in the college football playoff and bowl games. The amount distributed from the conference office included bowl revenue that averaged $72.4 million for the schools with full year financial participation. A lot of big words. Y'all know what that means. Oklahoma and Texas, which joined the league in July of 24, received distributions of 2.6 and 12.1 respectively, related to football playoff and bowl participation and all that jazz. So there you go. Big old round number. Lots and lots of money given from the conference to the schools et al. And those are your headlines brought to you by the Mortgage Man Group, powered by Illuminate Bank. Hey, let me answer a question because somebody asked me this right at the end of the show yesterday, and I didn't get to it. And then somebody has asked me again here today. We've got some state fans who watch this show and see the stream. And they're asking about this quarter zip pullover I'm wearing. Yeah, it was given to me. It's a 2X. I'm a big one. It's a 2X. But it fits great. Yeah, and you see that, of course, it's got this is black. It's a black long sleeve quarter zip pullover, kind of that thin, breathable, stretchy type material, really light. And it's got the state script on one side. And then this logo here, that's the LA7 logo, okay? Luke Alexander, it's a really cool thing. He's a former baseball player at State, and he's got this gear and clothing brand that he started and launched, and it's excellent stuff. And this is the logo for it. Okay, so LA, which stands for his name, Luke Alexander, and then I think he wore number 7. And so, like the number 7 replaces the letter V with a numeral 7. And so, like, if you look it up online, it's just la7.com, and it removes the V and puts a numeral 7 in there. And that's what this is. And I have this one, and I wore it yesterday, and somebody asked me about it. And Annabeth can tell you, like, I am the world's worst at if I put something on and it fits perfectly and it feels right and fits right, I am probably then going to wear it every day for a long time. I wear the same stuff every day, and I'll wash it at night, put it on the next day, and then wash it another night, put it on the next day. I just wear the same stuff. And so, yeah, that's why I got it on again today, because I wore it yesterday. I was like, this is perfect. This is an everyday thing. And I haven't put the maroon one on yet. But I just wanted to say a great big shout out. And in answer to the question, I'm sorry I didn't get to it yesterday. I did remember, though, here today. And I was reminded because I had the question today. Again, tip of the cap and shout out to L.A. Luke Alexander for the really cool pullover. I mean, it even kind of has like a little bit of I'm a big one now, okay? And it's a little bit of a slimming effect. Maybe it's because it's black. I don't know. I really like it. And you can check it out at la7.com. They got them at Maroon & Company as well. All right. And we'll see. I'll text it to you so you can see it. I'm Matt in the Bureau, rolling along. Your text, your comments coming up. Back after this.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
The Junction Deli's, convenience redefined, and Prince Oil Company, a match made in heaven. The Junction Deli, fueled by Prince Oil Company. Prince Oil Company has been fueling Central Mississippi since 1960. It's a pretty good little while. Wonderful people. Man, am I ever more tickled that they're a part of the show and I'm a part of their team now. As you know, if you listen to the radio show, I've been to the Junction in several different places around the state. I've bought gas just like you at a lot of places that are fueled by Prince Oil Company, and they are really wonderful people. By the way, that brand spanking new Junction Deli, Chevron, right across the highway from Germantown High School. It's in Canton, we say Gluckstadt. Do you realize they and other Junction Delis, they serve country-pleasing sausage over there on the buffet? They don't get much better than that. The Junction and Prince Oil Company. That's what I'm talking about. We'll be right back after this message from C Spire. My name is Matt Wyatt. I host the Matt Wyatt radio show out of my home using C Spire fiber.
And when we hit the road as a family, Matt's show goes with us, thanks to C Spire Wireless.
Its ultra-reliable nationwide network lets me broadcast live from anywhere.
And never miss a moment that matters.
Connecting you to what inspires you most on C Spire's blazing fast 5G network. And right now, get your choice of free phone. That's customer inspired. That's C Spire.
Welcome to my photography studio downtown Tupelo. Everybody needs a headshot, especially if you're in the professional world, in sales, any sort of customer related business, outreach business, anything like that. Everybody needs a headshot. Here at my photography studio in Tupelo, we do a lot more than just headshots, but we're kind of focusing on headshots for that very reason, because everybody needs it. Let me show you a little something about it. One thing I'm able to do here is sort of have 2 to 3 different looks in a small space that we can do in a short amount of time. Several different looks and styles of lighting with studio equipment, studio lighting. Some with flash and a particular look that I've worked on, a constant lighting scenario where you sit down, the lights are already on, you lean in, and we kind of illuminate the whole face. And we get several options in the studio in a short amount of time. Here's 2 priorities for me when I shoot headshots. One is it has to look like you. Okay, none of this fake stuff. The other goal is it's got to look like you at your best. And that's my job as a photographer. And I've got a lot of experience over the years, and I feel really confident I can do that for you. I would love to schedule a session for you here at the studio in downtown Tupelo. I'm above the Reed's Gift Shop, just off of Troy Street, the corner of Troy and Spring. If you can't get to Tupelo, that's okay. Let's talk about it, because we can pack the studio up and come to you if the schedules fit and that sort of thing. I'd love to help you with your headshots. I think everybody needs them. I'm inviting you to please email me, reach out. You can go to my website, mattwyattmedia.com, email address matt@mattwyattmedia.com, and let's talk about your headshot. Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi, local agents in all 82 counties. So here's what that means. You have that fender bender, hopefully you don't, but let's say you do at an odd time. Something goes on. It's Saturday night at 11 p.m. You don't have to wait until Monday morning to call some 800 number and talk to someone 3 states away. You've got your agents phone number right there on your phone.
Zone1059.com.
Okay, I got an update on what's in my stuffed chicken breasts in the freezer out there that I got at Country Meat Packers on Highway 49 in Florence, Mississippi, where Country Pleasing Sausage comes from. I told you the label said chicken breast, 4 cheese, and bacon. Okay, and you can see it's stuffed. And as I told you, I've had some stuff. I've had all kinds of cool things stuffed with cool things from there before. I've had pork chops that were stuffed with mac and cheese, their own kind of mac and cheese. It's fantastic. I had chicken breast that was stuffed with like a seafood mac and cheese type thing. I've had chicken breast stuffed with sausage, sausage stuffed. It's great. And anyway, the update, I talked with Aaron. It is a 4 cheese and bacon cream cheese mix. You hear me? It's a 4 cheese and bacon cream cheese mix stuffed in them great big chicken breasts. So now we know. And thanks to Real C, I know exactly what to do. And the instructions on the package. See, this is also where I am at this point in my life, y'all. I told y'all I'm wearing this. I now wear a 2X quarter zip pullover from LA7.com. Luke Alexander, former Diamond Dog. Got his logo on my shirt, see? I'm also taking pictures of labels so that I can zoom into them, pinch and zoom into them so that I can read them, because I can't read them in real life. Ingredients: chicken, Colby Jack cheese, Monterey Jack cheese, pepper jack cheese, cheddar cheese, bacon, chives, lemon pepper, barbecue seasoning. Cooking instructions: put in a pan and cover with a lid or foil. Cook at 350 degrees for about 45 to 60 minutes. Individually wrap tight in foil. Need an internal temp of 165. Do the same thing for the grill. Yeah, cannot wait. I mean, I'm looking forward to the game. Really looking forward to that. All right, your text messages on the Country Pleasing text line. Country Pleasing Sausage on grocery store shelves. Bo texted in. He said, where do you get that? He said, only cheese and bacon would be great. Yeah, you get it. You can go to Country Meat Packers. And that's one of the cool things about their market is you go in and a lot of that, stuff is already there and fresh and freshly made and just waiting for you to come in and buy it, take it home, and cook it. Just like that. J-Rock texted the show. Hey, man, I love using the thermometer also, but make sure you're sticking it into the meat and not the stuffing. Oh, that's a good point, J-Rock. Who was that texted yesterday and said, I thought this was a sports show. And then it was it Bulldog 44 who described it perfectly of what the show really is? It's not just sports. Attorney Reb texted the show and said, sometimes people file suit to get justice, not just, quote, what they want. Just saying. Granted, and I'll be the first to admit, Attorney Reb, that, yeah, sometimes things pop up and you go, yeah, they got a point. And then you go, boy, I sure am glad I have a good lawyer. or I'm sure they sure are glad they have a good lawyer, right? And then the old tried and true thing, right? Everybody makes fun of lawyers until they need one. And okay, I got it. I just happen to think, Attorney Red, that in the context of what we've talked about here recently, all right, a basketball player from the G League for Alabama, a kid for Tennessee he was in high school literally 8 years ago. And a kid in Ole Miss's case who he's already played 5 years. All of those in varying degrees of, what would you call it? In varying degrees of severity of trying to stretch the existing or, usually adhered to eligibility rules. All of them, it's some level of, I can sue to try to get what I want, so I am. I don't really need to. It's not a should or shouldn't, a right or wrong. It's a can or can't, money or no money decision. You see what I mean? That's what I'm calling that. All of these, that's what that is. That's what it is. That's something out there I want. I can sue and maybe get it. Gonna sue and try to get it. There you go. But you're right. That's not always the case. Jason in Flagstaff, Arizona says, Larry Fitzgerald going into the Hall of Fame just makes me feel really old. I remember watching him at Pitt before he spent, 2 decades in the NFL. Oh, I know. Jason, we're old, man. There's no other way to describe it. Stuff's happening that reiterates that to me almost on a daily basis, whether it's, your thought process or things that pop up that are apparently, common knowledge out there among lots of demographics that you've never even heard of, let alone know that. And then all the physical things that pop up that remind me that I'm old. I'm up to, after a recent doctor's visit, Jason, I'm up to 3 antacids a day. Steady. I'm on a steady diet of things for to tamp down reflux and all that kind of stuff. Let's see what else happens recently. Oh, I know what it was. I was horsing around out in the yard with my big dog Jasper, right? And he was chasing me, and at one point I jumped up on this little brick ledge to get away from him and, to see if he'd jump up there too. I jumped up on top of it. And then when I jumped off of it, Jason, it was farther down to the concrete off that brick ledge than I realized. It was a far jump. So my brain was like, no problem. My feet hit the ground and it was like, hey, this is a problem. And now my left foot's been hurting for a week. It hurts. I wake up hurting. Little things I can't do anymore. What else? I'll tell you another one, Jason. Well, you don't want to hear any more of that. Point's made. Real C, thanks for that advice. He said, make sure you thaw those chicken breasts to room temperature prior to cooking. Will do. To room temperature, he said, not just refrigerator temperature. He said room temperature. Got it. And Robbie, attaboy. Now there's somebody who will take some good advice when he hears it. Sent me a picture from his windshield. He's headed north on 49. And so the big Red Hog and Country Meat Packers is on his right, and he's whooping into the turning lane right there as we speak. So he's going into, check that out. Robbie, let me know what you bought. I'd like to see it. Always looking for ideas. All right. Sven text or commented on the live stream. He's on YouTube. He said, Chambliss simply want to cheat another $6 million. Just go pro and leave us alone. Well, see, but here's the thing, Sven. Cheat is not the right word. Not in regards to his or, the college sports stuff anymore. The cheat's not the right word. The old saying, you're worth whatever somebody's willing to pay you, right? Like, so if they're willing to pay him $6 million, he's worth it. And if he can just sue and get one more year, that's $6 million more. And no, nobody in pro football is anywhere near giving him $6 million to do anything. So, okay, I'm sure in that regard, it's a good business decision, to try to get it. I guess. Yeah, but it's funny to me. He's like, just go pro and leave us alone. He's good. There's a lot of college teams that really, for that reason, wish he'd just go pro and so they don't have to try to defend him anymore. Yeah, I saw that, JS290. I didn't have that in the headlines. I did see the story. It's an affidavit thing, right, of some, Sankey asking for everybody to uphold the eligibility stuff. It's such an odd environment, isn't it? The sad thing about that to me, JS2, nobody talked about is, what about the angle of he's the commissioner of the SEC? Just a short time ago, everybody was talking about him as being the most powerful man in all of college athletics, the commissioner of the SEC. His own, bell cow school in this conference is doing something directly opposed to what he wants done, and apparently he can't tell them not to do it. Bama's doing it. He's got to go elsewhere for help to get eligibility rules to apply to Alabama. Well, what's he getting paid to do? Why is it's weird to me. More of your comments, your texts, your phone calls coming up. Rolling along on a Friday. Back after this.
At C Spire, we've never...
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Yeah.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Well, look at what we have here. Christmas come early. Boom. Little green onion country pleasing. That's not all. Little original smoked sausage flavor. That's not all. Jalapeno and cheddar. It has to be one of my favorite, just judging by how much of that stuff I eat. Oh, can't forget. Andouille. Don't be saying andouille, it's andouille. And last, but not least, pork and pineapple. Bun size, 3 links bun size. Look at that right there. Be careful. Come on with it. It's mine. Come here, jalapeno. Oh, that's all mine. Country pleasing sausage.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Welcome to my photography studio downtown Tupelo. Everybody needs a headshot, especially if you're in the professional world, in sales, any sort of customer related business, outreach business, anything like that. Everybody needs a headshot. Here at my photography studio in Tupelo, we do a lot more than just headshots, but we're kind of focusing on headshots for that very reason, because everybody needs it. Let me show you a little something about it. One thing I'm able to do here is sort of have 2 to 3 different looks in a small space that we can do in a short amount of time. Several different looks and styles of lighting with studio equipment, studio lighting. Some with flash and a particular look that I've worked on, a constant lighting scenario where you sit down, the lights are already on, you lean in, and we kind of illuminate the whole face. And we get several options in the studio in a short amount of time. Here's 2 priorities for me when I shoot headshots. One is it has to look like you. Okay, none of this fake stuff. The other goal is it's got to look like you at your best. And that's my job as a photographer. And I've got a lot of experience over the years, and I feel really confident I can do that for you. I would love to schedule a session for you here at the studio in downtown Tupelo. I'm above the Reed's Gift Shop, just off of Troy Street, the corner of Troy and Spring. If you can't get to Tupelo, that's okay. Let's talk about it, because we can pack the studio up and come to you if the schedules fit and that sort of thing. I'd love to help you with your headshots. I think everybody needs them. I'm inviting you to please email me, reach out. You can go to my website, mattwyattmedia.com, email address matt@mattwyattmedia.com, and let's talk about your headshot.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi, local agents in all 82 counties. So here's what that means. You have that fender bender, hopefully you don't, but let's say you do at an odd time. Something goes on. It's Saturday night at 11 p.m. You don't have to wait until Monday morning to call some 800 number and talk to someone 3 states away. You've got your agent's phone number right there on your phone because you go to church with him. Your kids go to school together. He lives right
at the Zone 1059.com.
Back with you. I'm Matt. In the Bureau, the Farm Bureau Insurance Studio. Farm Bureau, go with the home team. They are your home team at Farm Bureau Insurance. Shoot me a text on the Country Pleasing text line. The number to text is 885-3776. 601 number, 885-3776. Call me on the junction phone. Number to call, 897-1059. 897-1059. Sven says on YouTube, Matt, here's a question. What if the NCAA plays the football national championship on their own on a Saturday? Well, he says, what would ESPN do? I mean, it's ridiculous that a TV provider tells you what to do. Yeah, we saw that earlier this week, right? They're going to have they're going to avoid New Year's Eve for college football playoff games because it's a Thursday night and it would compete with the NFL. So you're not going to have any New Year's Eve games. Yeah, I mean, like it's all money and television now, which is why you see a lot of the decision making kind of at all levels the way it is throughout, a big revenue sport like college football is because, I mean, it's really just all money and all TV. It's because those two things are, it's like a cycle. TV is money and money is TV. Both those things sort of perpetuate each other. Now here's the thing. Sven says Sankey should have been fired 5 years ago. He is biased, unethical, and absolutely useless for the job. It's weird because I don't really know what all a commissioner does throughout the year. I know there's big things and big moments and big decisions and meetings. And, I'm sure, easy for me to say, philosophical things that come down from, a commissioner's point of view. I don't really know the day-to-day of what the job's like. And I know that's in reference to earlier, saying that Sankey had talked about eligibility. Let me find that just so we know. And I'll tell you what's in there. Supporting the NCAA. So it came out yesterday, right? Yeah, last night. That's what I was thinking. It was not before we were on the air yesterday. The eligibility case of Alabama basketball player Charles Bediako has taken a twist, with SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey filing an affidavit emphatically arguing that not upholding NCAA eligibility rules fuels disruption on the college sports landscape. So it was a court filing. It was yesterday. Yesterday was one day before Charles Bediako's injunction hearing, which is happening today at 4 o'clock or something like that. And it's the commissioner of the SEC taking a clear position against this court granting the eligibility of this athlete, okay, at none other than Alabama, who's like the bell cow of the entire league. And don't bat an eye at that because, I'm not saying that they're the favorite child. I'm just saying it is kind of the bell cow. Look at it. I mean, the league offices are there. He stated in this affidavit that the NCAA eligibility rules are, here's the quote, essential to the integrity of college sports. Now, if I'm not careful, I will get preachy on this and I'll drive everybody off. Don't want to do that. But what about that word college? What do you think about that word college? That's the quote from Sankey in the affidavit. It's essential to the integrity of college sports, the eligibility rules. I came across this earlier today. One of the lawyers that is, set to make a killing, I'm talking about generational killing financially in this upheaval of the rules of, of college sports. It's a guy named Darren Heitner. Heitner Legal. He teaches NIL at Miami Law. Okay, and he's in on this thing, like he's representing some of this stuff. And he had this long post about, negative about what Greg Sankey said in his affidavit, including this. As evidenced by multiple eligibility grants, the NCAA has waived similar rules for former professional athletes, including, and then he names 4 or 5. He says these waivers demonstrate selective enforcement. And then he goes here. Sankey's reliance on outdated principles of amateurism and academic integration is not aligned with the current realities of college athletes and the proliferation of NIL deals. Now, think about what he said for a minute. It's a lot of words. Let me back up. Just hang in there with me. If you didn't see this, this is the lawyer. He's representing a lot of this stuff. His name's all over these stories. We're suing for eligibility. We want to play more on college teams. What about the word college? May I ask you a question? What is a college, Mr. Heitner? What is a university? What is an institution of higher learning? What are they? I'm not arguing for or against. I'm almost looking at it from, just say if I'm opposing it, I'm looking at it from a logical standpoint. What is a college? Let me read you that again. Okay, the amateurism deal. He said Sankey's reliance on outdated principles of amateurism. All right, let's put that to the side and not argue about whether or not the amateurism principles are outdated. But then he says outdated principles of academic integration. You see what he's saying right there? He's saying that here's that word again, college sports, there's no place for academic integration in college sports. You see what this lawyer's saying? Think about it for a minute. College and university, no place for academic integration in college sports. How do you even, what planet? I mean, do we believe that do we have to go to Mars or Venus for that to make any sense? Because it don't make sense on planet Earth. Really? Okay, if it's a team that's a professional sports team or some organized team and it does not have an affiliation for the school or represent them, but if it does, then obviously since the beginning of time until the end of time, the team that is made up of people that go to that school to represent that school, there is some amount of academic integration that is not only warranted and justifiable, it is right. I read that and I'm going, it's one thing for you to want to overturn this because it gives you a lot of work if you're a lawyer and you can squeeze yourself into every $1 million NIL deal, every, court case where you're suing the NCAA and get whatever your rate is and your percentage off all that and go build you 5 houses. That's that's okay. You want to do that? Do it. But to actually type it out and expect a living, breathing human being to believe it. Sankey's reliance on outdated principles of academic integration at a college, at a university. How you can't have anything other than a privatized, for-profit pro team with employees on it that aren't even going to your school if they don't want to. That's the only way you could have a scenario where you're not supposed to have principles of academic integration involved in college sports. This idiot right here really believes what he's typing. And let me tell you something. Suing their pants off. Right and left. In that case, Finn, I almost feel sorry for Sankey and them and what they're having to deal with. Glad it's them and not me. Hour 2 coming up. Back after this.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Yeah.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Well, look at what we have here. Christmas come early. Boom. Little green onion country pleasing. That's not all. Little original smoked sausage flavor. That's not all. Jalapeno and cheddar. It has to be one of my favorite, just judging by how much of that stuff I eat. Oh, can't forget. Andouille. Don't be saying andouille, it's andouille. And last, but not least, pork and pineapple, bun size, 3 links, bun size. Look at that right there. Be careful. Come on with it. It's mine. Come here, jalapeno. Oh, that's all mine. Country pleasing sausage.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Welcome to my photography studio downtown Tupelo. Everybody needs a headshot, especially if you're in the professional world, in sales, any sort of customer related business, outreach business, anything like that. Everybody needs a headshot. Here at my photography studio in Tupelo, we do a lot more than just headshots, but we're kind of focusing on headshots for that very reason, because everybody needs it. Let me show you a little something about it. One thing I'm able to do here is sort of have 2 to 3 different looks in a small space that we can do in a short amount of time. Several different looks and styles of lighting with studio equipment, studio lighting. Some with flash and a particular look that I've worked on a constant lighting scenario where you sit down, the lights are already on, you lean in, and we kind of illuminate the whole face. And we get several options in the studio in a short amount of time. Here's 2 priorities for me when I shoot headshots. One is it has to look like you. Okay, none of this fake stuff. The other goal is it's got to look like you at your best. And that's my job as a photographer. And I've got a lot of experience over the years, and I feel really confident I can do that for you. I would love to schedule a session for you here at the studio in downtown Tupelo. I'm above the Reed's Gift Shop, just off of Troy Street, the corner of Troy and Spring. If you can't get to Tupelo, that's okay. Let's talk about it, because we can pack the studio up and come to you if the schedules fit and that sort of thing. I'd love to help you with your headshots. I think everybody needs them. I'm inviting you to please email me, reach out. You can go to my website, mattwyattmedia.com, email address matt@mattwyattmedia.com, and let's talk about your headshot.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi, local agents in all 82 counties. So here's what that means. You have that fender bender, hopefully you don't, but let's say you do at an odd time. Something goes on. It's Saturday night at 11 p.m. You don't have to wait until Monday morning to call some 800 number and talk to someone 3 states away. You've got your agent's phone number right there on your phone because you go to church with him. Your kids go to school together. He lives right down the road. You see each other at the ball games on Friday nights. So it's personal with your local Farm Bureau insurance agent.
WRKS Pickens Jackson, where it's time for the guy who always gets you to the ball game on time.
And here's the pitch.
It's Matt Wyatt with all the good stuff you need to know. Right here on the Zone 105.9 and worldwide at thezone1059.com.
Back with you. Hour 2 of the show off and running. I'm Matt in the Bureau, the Farm Bureau Insurance Studio. Staying connected to you because of C Spire, the #1 network in Mississippi. C Spire, customer inspired. Check them out at cspire.com. I still cannot believe. And it's a heck of a thing that in 2026 there's something somebody can say or believe that will actually shock you. But I'll be honest with you, I am shocked. I just cannot believe that there is a living, breathing person that got onto the internet and said that, quote, outdated principles of academic integration regarding college sports, okay, with a straight face. Reverse it. Integrating academics into college is an outdated principle, he says. Think about that. Now, in this case, it's a lawyer, and you're arguing for that stuff, and I just think, okay, maybe all you need in 2026 in the United States of America, all you need is one backward, corrupt judge who it ain't about right and wrong. It's just about can and can't, money and not money. And it ain't a foreign idea, and it's not a recent idea. We've seen judges going a long time ago. We've seen judges take bribes and rule in favor of who gave them the money. We've seen it. And no, not every college athlete goes to college pumped about what they're going to major in. It's an opportunity that some take advantage of and some don't. But colleges have rules academically. Why? Because they're charging everybody else out the wazoo to come to school there. They're in the business of education. So we've gotten to the point now where a lawyer wants to have a thing where academics don't play any role in the sports teams connected to that college or university. Okay, and then we go, well, if they're not, then what are they? Okay, because if they're students, then you're on an academic calendar. If you're not a student, then what are you? So, I'm just saying, I'm shocked. There are people who will say that kind of thing with a straight face. It beats all I've ever seen. Okay, and it's not. There are all kinds of other arguments about right and wrong and integrity. I'm looking at it going, outdated principles of academic integration regarding college sports. Outdated principles of academic integration. It's a college. Again, say the statement backwards. Integrating academics into college sports is outdated. You see what he's saying? You see how dumb that is? Okay, so what it whittles it on down to then is an academic calendar. So now in all of this stuff, we're past the deal of paying the players to, fine, whatever. Pay him. Like Sven said, $8 million to Arch Manning. Pay him. Okay, whatever. You got it? Pay him. We're past that. Now we're all just right down to an academic calendar. This right here. You ready? In America, you go to high school. What is high school? 100 out of 100, 1,000 out of 1,000, 10,000 out of 10,000 people hear that question. What do they say? 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade. Freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. There's your academic calendar. There's high school. 4 years. It's academic. What's it based on? The academics. That's what it's based on. That's high school. We've got an academic calendar. All right. What about in college? Curriculum, everything about the school. They're in the business of education. They're charging people, rotating you in and rotating you out when you graduate. You want to go past your senior year? Fine, but you're on an academic calendar in college. You are. And to say that, no, it's outdated. That's outdated. What's outdated? Academics, period? Do you want us to say that there's no such thing as a first-year student? Well, that don't make any sense because logically, they exist. We've got a kid who came to school here. Yeah, guess what? It's first year. We call it freshman. Call it what you want to call it. He's here for his first year. We got kids who've been here for 2 years, some for 3, some for 4. The idea is we have a calendar, an academic calendar. It's based on what? Academics. Because the school is in the business of academics, the business of education. Some kids get their degree. It doesn't take them 4 years. They get it in 2 or 3. Boom, they're on to the next thing. Maybe master's, whatever. Now, you could have a conversation. You could have a conversation about what about kids who are doing their math. You know, it used to be that once you're on to the point of getting your master's, you're already done with eligibility anyway, usually. So now you guys got to be a GA. I got a bunch of, friends that former teammates did that. And, okay, but challenging the idea of an academic calendar right now, as it stands, where, frankly, every college and university in America is still on an academic calendar for every student it's got. You have no ground to stand on to say that their academic calendar, integrating academics into college sports, is an outdated principle. You don't have any ground to stand on. So, whole thing's asinine. That's what it is. Especially for a kid like the one at Tennessee, who he graduated high school 8 years ago, something like that. You get the pro sports deal. That's more of a professionalism, amateurism thing than it is an academic thing. But the kid at Tennessee, what's his deal? At least the kid at Ole Miss he's arguing for a 6th year, not a 9th or an 8th. It's just crazy to me what they've done to this. And, I guess I should stop now, take a breath and back up, and we can all agree, probably. The reason then, and I'm shocked by it because I'm looking at do they really believe that? This guy didn't really believe this. It's what you argue. It's not a matter, like I've said, for this particular lawyer, this Heitner guy, it's not a matter of weighing right and wrong, good and bad, right and wrong. That's not what this is. For this particular guy, it's simply a matter of he's weighing out money versus not money. I want the money. What must I say? What must I propose? What must we, what flute must we play? What tune in order to get to jump in behind us and follow us right out the door in order for me to get that money? And that is a percentage of NIL money, representing kids, a percentage of NIL cases and eligibility cases, suing people in court, suing the NCAA. That's really what it's about. It ain't about right and wrong. Sorry. Can't be, because it doesn't make any sense to be. That's just where it is. Outdated principles of academic integration And we're talking about a college. You could say that the calendar, the way it is outdated. We need to update the calendar. But you can't stand there with a straight face and say that the principle of integrating academics into something to do with a college is outdated. Even you don't have to be all that smart to know that
don't make no sense.
Right. All right, headlines coming up for hour number 2 next. We'll move on. I'm Matt in the Bureau. Back after this.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi. Local agents in all 82 counties. So here's what that means. You have that fender bender, hopefully you don't, but let's say you do at an odd time. Something goes on. It's Saturday night at 11 p.m. You don't have to wait until Monday morning to call some 800 number and talk to someone 3 states away. You've got your agent's phone number right there on your phone because you go to church with him. Your kids go to school together. He lives right down the road. You see each other at the ball games on Friday nights. So it's personal with your local Farm Bureau insurance agent in all 82 counties in this entire state. And if anything does arise and you need to, run it up the chain or up the flagpole, the home offices for Farm Bureau Insurance are in Jackson, Mississippi. It's right here in the state of Mississippi. It doesn't get more local than and personal, the service that you get with Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi. I can't recommend them highly enough. And if you haven't, recently, let them give you a quote. Home, life, auto. It's Farm Bureau Insurance. Go with the home team.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Well, look at what we have here. Christmas come early. Boom. Little green onion country pleasing. That's not all. Little original smoked sausage flavor. That's not all. Jalapeno and cheddar. It has to be one of my favorite, just judging by how much of that stuff I eat. Oh, can't forget. Andouille. Don't be saying andouille, it's andouille. And last, but not least, pork and pineapple. Bun size, 3 links, bun size. Look at that right there. Be careful. Come on with it. It's mine. Come here, jalapeno. Oh, that's all mine. Country pleasing sausage. We'll be right back after this message from C Spire. My name is Matt Wyatt. I host the Matt Wyatt radio show out of my home using C Spire fiber.
And when we hit the road as a family, Matt's show goes with us, thanks to C Spire Wireless.
Its ultra-reliable nationwide network lets me broadcast live from anywhere.
And never miss a moment that matters.
Connecting you to what inspires you most on C Spire's blazing fast 5G network. And right now, get your choice of free phone. That's customer inspired. That's C Spire.
Y'all like coffee? I know you do. Check it out. Little High Point Roasters from New Albany, Mississippi. That is the breakfast blend. It's a whole bean. And if you notice, that's how much I've had already. Brazil Oberon. Not Ogeron or Orgeron, you LSU. No, Brazil Oberon. That ain't all. What we got there? What flavor is that? Papua New Guinea grade AA. Bring it on. High Point Roasters, New Albany, Mississippi. Roast it right there. That's whole bean. One more. I got more. Ah, tried and true. Magnolia Blend.
Because you've got Man Wyatt.
Oh, I am starving.
Don't worry, he's got a menu full on the Zone 1059 and worldwide at thezone1059.com.
Back with you. No, I'm a long ways off. Will, that train has left the station. Back with you in the Bureau. Will said on YouTube, Matt, I'm hearing that you're just a call to a lawyer away from 2 more years of eligibility. I mean, yeah, like to do what? Not me. Needed to come up with that a long time ago. You know, back in my 20s. I was, talking about getting old earlier with Jason. I was actually having a similar conversation with a guy at church on Sunday. We were talking about the things that he used to be a good athlete. I told him, the other day I was standing under a basketball goal, regulation height, 10 feet goal. I looked up at it and I thought, it sure looks like it's a long way up there. And, what to me doesn't seem that long ago, but in reality, it was a long time ago, 20 years ago. Even then, and I was way out of school. I could stand under the basketball goal and just stand flat-footed and jump up and boom, dunk it. I didn't need a running start. Long arms and some height help with that, but yeah. Now I look at it and go there's no way. Well, don't even try it. You try to jump, your feet barely come off the ground. Wouldn't be happening. And I did have some nice throws, though. Some nice completions, touchdown throws, some really good zip, tight spiral in the First Baptist Church of Tupelo Turkey Bowl, parents versus youth. That's my latest claim to fame. Had some nice throws in that game. Yeah. Now, but let's make a funny out of it. I'd be willing to do that if it's a funny thing. Back to school, too. QB1 starting Matt Wyatt. Yeah. Back to school, too. Make sure you have good insurance. All right. Hour number 2, here we go. Let's have some headlines. A little bit of a recap, maybe a new one from hour 1.
Good evening. I'm Ron Burgundy, and this is what's happening in your world.
Good evening, and welcome to Eyewitness News.
Here's what's making news.
Headlines on the show brought to you by the Mortgage Man Group, powered by Illuminate Bank. Find them online at mortgagemanms.com. Mortgagemanms.com. Hall of Fame quarterback Sonny Jurgensen has held franchise passing records for the Eagles and for the Redskins for more than 5 decades, has passed away at the age of 91. 18-year career in Washington. Then he went to Philadelphia. 5 Pro Bowls in his career. Led the NFL in passing 3 different times. Threw 31 touchdowns in the 1967 season, and that is actually a franchise record for Washington. And so 91, what a life, what an athlete, what a player. Sonny Jurgensen passing away at the age of 91. Other NFL quarterback news, mentioned this to you earlier. Last night they revealed that Matthew Stafford is the MVP of the NFL. It's actually his first one. It was the closest vote in over 20 years. He just barely got past Drake May, who's going to play in the Super Bowl in a couple of days. Drew Brees is obviously headed into the the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So they made that announcement last night. Brees, Fitzgerald, he goes in with Adam Vinatieri and Luke Kuechly, and also Roger Craig, former San Francisco 49ers great. And then this, I mentioned it to you earlier. We talked about it. The SEC's Greg Sankey signed an affidavit supporting the NCAA in the Charles Bediako at University of Alabama lawsuit. Story said the eligibility case of Bama basketball player Charles Bediako has taken a twist with the SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey filing an affidavit emphatically arguing that not upholding NCAA eligibility rules fuels disruption on the college sports landscape. Sankey said in the filing, inconsistent application of the NCAA eligibility rules, challenged in this case through court rulings or otherwise, fuels disruption. And so there's that. Those are your headlines brought to you by the Mortgage Man Group, powered by Luminate Bank. Find them online at mortgagemanms.com. So you have that, okay. Headline, SEC's Sankey signs affidavit supporting NCAA and Bediako suit. And then you have this today. You ready? Nate Oates, that's the basketball coach at Alabama, said Alabama plans on Charles Bediako being able to play tomorrow afternoon at Auburn. Quote, I think the right thing will be done. Now, why is that funny? I'll tell you why it's funny. One day, the commissioner of the SEC says, hey, you got to uphold the NCAA's eligibility rules. Commissioner, SEC, you got to uphold the rules. The next day, Bama basketball coach, don't do that. Instead, do the right thing. How about that? Today, Alabama's basketball coach, public interview, quote, the right thing will be done, which is the exact opposite of what the commissioner of the SEC has argued in an affidavit. Yeah. Who's driving what bus? I think everybody's driving their own. I think that's where we are. Yeah, regarding the thing I was talking about, the lawyer earlier that said, he called it outdated principles of academic integration in college sports. Real unnamed texter said, that is some dumb crap, but majority of people are lockstep with their heads buried in the sand with that hypocrisy. It's just people not thinking. We increasingly, more and more, you see more people and more groups of people that, considering even just basic logic and right and wrong is not the goal. It's not the way to go about things. You simply go along with and say things that benefit you. It doesn't have to be right. It doesn't have to be logical. Jason in Flagstaff said, it's sad. It used to be the players couldn't play if they had bad grades. So then a whole bunch of them majored in home ec. Couldn't read or speak when they graduated, but they still had a degree. Now, even that's too much. He said, that guy doesn't care about players' lives at all. He said, just the money he can get now. And I think you nailed it. CB95 texted the show on the Country Pleasing text line. He says, Matt, I never heard of Bad Bunny until a few months ago either. I decided to research the guy to see who he was. Was there a specific reason you choose not to watch the halftime show? Just curious. ... No, specific reason. I would say, yeah, is everything I've heard from both the style of music doesn't appeal to me, to other things about the music doesn't appeal to me, and the fact that it's according to everything I've been told, it's not in English. So, why would I? Why would I? That would be my question. If you're like me, you say, Matt, I had never heard of Bad Bunny until a few months ago either. Well, if you're like me, then you tell me why I should. Because see, over the years, you'd go, oh man, they got Paul McCartney. They've got Prince is his halftime deal. You'd go, oh, I know them. I like that. Can't wait to see what it looks like. Janet Jackson, you knew. I'm saying I have apparently reached a point where, I mean, it's the Super Bowl halftime, and they can go, here's who it is, and I go, wait a minute, time out. Who? Holiday Hoobie Wuddy? Never heard of him. Didn't know it existed. So it's almost CB95. It's almost less, oh, I'm boycotting. That ain't it. It's give me a reason I ought to watch that. I don't think anybody can. More of your texts, more of your comments coming up. Stick around.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
The Junction Delis, convenience redefined, and Prince Oil Company, a match made in heaven. The Junction Deli, fueled by Prince Oil Company. Prince Oil Company has been fueling Central Mississippi since 1960. It's a pretty good little while. Wonderful people. Man, am I ever more tickled that they're a part of the show and I'm a part of their team now. As you know, if you listen to the radio show, I've been to the Junction in several different places around the state. I've bought gas just like you at a lot of places that are fueled by Prince Oil Company, and they are really wonderful people. By the way, that brand spanking new Junction Deli, Chevron, right across the highway from Germantown High School. It's in Canton, we say Gluckstadt. Do you realize they and other Junction Delis, they serve country-pleasing sausage over there on the buffet? They don't get much better than that. The Junction and Prince Oil Company. That's what I'm talking about. We'll be right back after this message from C Spire. My name is Matt Wyatt. I host the Matt Wyatt radio show out of my home using C Spire fiber.
And when we hit the road as a family, Matt's show goes with us, thanks to C Spire Wireless.
Its ultra-reliable nationwide network lets me broadcast live from anywhere.
And never miss a moment that matters.
Connecting you to what inspires you most on C Spire's blazing fast 5G network. And right now, get your choice of free phone. That's customer inspired. That's C Spire.
Welcome to my photography studio downtown Tupelo. Everybody needs a headshot, especially if you're in the professional world, in sales, any sort of customer related business, outreach business, anything like that. Everybody needs a headshot. Here at my photography studio in Tupelo, we do a lot more than just headshots, but we're kind of focusing on headshots for that very reason, because everybody needs it. Let me show you a little something about it. One thing I'm able to do here is sort of have 2 to 3 different looks in a small space that we can do in a short amount of time. Several different looks and styles of lighting with studio equipment, studio lighting. Some with flash and a particular look that I've worked on, a constant lighting scenario where you sit down, the lights are already on, you lean in, and we kind of illuminate the whole face. And we get several options in the studio in a short amount of time. Here's 2 priorities for me when I shoot headshots. One is it has to look like you. Okay, none of this fake stuff. The other goal is it's got to look like you at your best. And that's my job as a photographer. And I've got a lot of experience over the years, and I feel really confident I can do that for you. I would love to schedule a session for you here at the studio in downtown Tupelo. I'm above the Reed's Gift Shop, just off of Troy Street, the corner of Troy and Spring. If you can't get to Tupelo, that's okay. Let's talk about it, because we can pack the studio up and come to you if the schedules fit and that sort of thing. I'd love to help you with your headshots. I think everybody needs them. I'm inviting you to please email me, reach out. You can go to my website, mattwyattmedia.com, email address matt@mattwyattmedia.com, and let's talk about your headshot. Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi, local agents in all 82 counties. So here's what that means. You have that fender bender. Hopefully you don't, but let's say you do at an odd time. Something goes on. It's Saturday night at 11 p.m. You don't have to wait until Monday morning to call some 800 number and talk to someone 3 states away. You've got your agent's phone number right there on your phone because you go to church with him. Your kids go to school together. He lives right.
9.com.
Back with you. I'm Matt in the Bureau, the Farm Bureau Insurance Studio. Farm Bureau, go with the home team. Let's see. Beav, is Teddy still hanging on and he split?
He's there.
Hallelujah. Over to the Junction phone line. Teddy, thanks for being patient on line 1. That's Ready Teddy for you and Ready Teddy for the rest of us. Teddy, happy Friday. What's up, man? Thanks for hanging on.
Absolutely, Matt. Happy Friday to you and Beaver. Your post about Dante Jones pipeline through there brought back a memory for me. I have a good friend that played at Northeast with Dante, and I don't remember exactly how the story goes, but there were scouts all over those games. With whatever, this one particular game, there's going to be, I guess, more scouts than normal for some reason. And my friend said everybody knew the scouts were going to be there and knew that they were there. And anyway, he said, so first few possessions, he said, I jacked up a couple of threes. And I don't know if the coach called timeout, but next dead ball there over there, next time out, the coach said, man, what are you doing? Jacking threes and jacking up those shots. The coach, I was open. He said, run the offense. He said, what offense, coach? He said, the offense is throw it to Dante. That's the offense.
Give the ball to 32 and get out of the way. That's funny.
Yeah, run offense. What offense?
To give the ball to Dante Jones offense.
Anyway.
Yep. If you got a Dante Jones on your team, then, most of the time that's a pretty good plan. Just get the ball to him, and get out of the way.
Man, he was. I never got to see him in junior college, but I saw him live a couple times when he played at Mississippi State. Man, he was unbelievable.
Yeah, he really was.
But
yeah.
But anyway, I just want to call and share that about Dante, man. Y'all have a good weekend. Okay?
You too. Thanks for the call, Teddy. How about that?
Thank you, man.
And what he's talking about, there's a couple of posts I put them on social media, one on Facebook and a couple elsewhere. One is a picture and one is a video. It has a short video of this Respect the Legends series I'm doing. But this photo, I just had to share the photo that I came across, and it comes from Northeast Mississippi Community College. It looks like it might actually be a photo of a photo, like in a program or something like that, but because it's black and white. Now, it would have been early 90s, and I've actually seen a color version of the photo, but I'm sure it was probably printed in something black and white. It could have been printed in a newspaper back in the early 90s. You'll see it there, but it looks like a black and white photo, and it's an actual image taken of Dante Jones dunking a basketball in this would have been early 90s, somewhere around 93, 94-ish, somewhere like that, for Northeast Mississippi Community College in Boonville. And it's kind of Jordan-esque. I mean, his jumping and dunking ability was legendary up there, and that picture shows you why. Now, what's interesting, I didn't know this, but somebody commented, and I think they're probably accurate in this, that I think was there, who said that's actually from like a preseason exhibition at the old Ripley High School gym, which I think they said is now the Ripley Junior High gym or middle school gym. Used to be the high school gym. And that would make sense. Ripley High School, it's in Tippah County, Northeast Mississippi. Tippah County, back in that time, was one of the 5 county, home area counties for Northeast Community College, and where a lot of their students came from and athletes and elsewhere. And they'd have a certain number, every school in the state have a certain number of out-of-state kids they could recruit, like Dante was from Nashville. And so, yeah, apparently they were doing an exhibition in there, maybe a scrimmage and then a dunking contest. But somebody there, I bet it was like a local newspaper reporter / photographer, something probably took that. Early 90s, it would have been on film. They would have gone back and developed it. And you just got to see it. It's a actual photo. It's not doctored in any way. He's flying in there to dunk the basketball, and he's hitting his forehead on the rim. Like that's where he is. His head is rim high, and there's been others who could do that. The thing is, it hit close to home for me because I watched him play in college that one year at Mississippi State. And he could absolutely take over an entire game. Even at that level, he did. The video that I put out there was a little bit about the story of him taking over the 1996 SEC Tournament Championship game. It was in the Louisiana Superdome against Kentucky. Kentucky was the number 1 team in the country. And Dante Jones took over the game. He took it over. He would do that at times. Like he would flip a switch and turn it on, and there was nothing anybody was going to do. It was threes. It was fall away, fade away jumpers off the glass. It was dunking. It was rebounding. They named him the SEC Tournament MVP that year. They won it when they beat Kentucky. I think the final was 84-73. He had 28 points and 11 rebounds. He just flipped a switch and take over. And the thing, I worked close to 15 years after Dante Jones had played those 2 years at Northeast Community College. People might have, he averaged like 28 and 13 in 2 years in JUCO. All-American. They retired his jersey at Northeast. But I was there like 15 years after he'd come through there, and it was fun at times to talk to people and get them to tell their Dante Jones basketball stories. That's a very proud basketball history school. Those that know community college sports, JUCO sports in Mississippi know that. It goes way back. Their current president at the school, Ricky Ford, was a longtime women's basketball coach who, played for national championships and won championships and is a Hall of Famer himself. Like on the men's side, they've had great players come through there. They've never seen anything quite like what it was like when Dante Jones was there. Every home game, it's completely full, spilling out of the door. It's a fire marshal deal every time, home and away. And you can read a lot of the comments on that post that shows that picture, and on the video, there's some people that mentioned that. There was one guy talked about being a student at 𝐍𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬 Community College. ICC and Northeast are big rivals, and what it was like in the gym at ICC when Northeast would come in there. Everybody was talking about this guy. And they talk about some of the dunk shows that he would put on in ball games. He was playing a game once at Northwest, and he throws it and bounces it off the backboard to himself and dunks it. He was really just an incredible player. That picture, and I'll say this, Teddy, you brought it up. That photo, I had not seen it prior to this morning. It does look like that old gym at Ripley. I've been in that gym many years ago when it was still the high school gym. It looks like it. Probably was an exhibition. It looks like they probably took the Northeast Community College team and split them up and did a scrimmage, because you see some Northeast players wearing the jerseys that said Tigers on it that were light colored jerseys, like the home jerseys, and then he's got on the all black uniform that they would wear on the road. They're black and gold at Northeast. But that picture, it kind of has the same effect on me as the Eric Moles touchdown catch against Alabama photo from 1994 does. Now, I was at the 94 Alabama-Mississippi State game when Moles made that catch. I saw it in person. That's a difference because I have that memory tagged along with it. But when I see that photo of Moles, you look at it and you go, man, how's that really even possible for him to be in the air like that? Deshae Townsend is playing DV or playing corner for Alabama, is next to the play. The ball is thrown so high over everybody's head, he doesn't even elevate. He just really is looking at the ball like it's going to Like your brain's telling you as a DB, that ball is going out of bounds. Well, he's standing there kind of on the ground. Moles is in the air catching the football at his neck. His feet and ankles are kicking effectively 𝐁𝐮𝐫𝐽𝐻𝐿 in the head. That's how he doesn't have his knees pulled up. He's straight vertical up in the air, kind of leaning back, catching the ball. His feet, ankles, shins are 6 feet off the ground. I know it sounds like it's not possible. Go look at the picture. Saw it myself. You know how tall 𝐁𝐮𝐫𝐽𝐻𝐿 is. Never seen anything like it. That photo of Moles kind of has the same effect as this photo. Look, that's Dante Jones is just a teenager, basically. He didn't even have to try hard. He's got to make sure he doesn't injure himself, hitting his head on the rim through flying in there for a dunk. His jumping ability was incredible. We'll have time to wrap it up when we come back. Stick around.
Designed to be the most powerful iPhone ever, there's more to the all-new iPhone 17 Pro. More than deep capture.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Hey y'all, Matt Wyatt here. Each week on the Mississippi Outdoors Podcast, we talk with the people who live it. Hunters, biologists, game wardens, local celebrities, and storytellers that know Mississippi better than anyone.
Those bass come up there and attack them. You know how mean bass can be there.
You're never going to believe this. Matt Wyatt just talked about your deer on the radio. I said, what did he say? He said, it was Photoshopped. And I said, what?
They don't know anything about hunting. They just have never had that right, that freedom.
Dude, that's us, man. That's what we do. So tune in. Be inspired, and we'll see you outdoors.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Yeah. Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi. Local agents in all 82 counties. So here's what that means. You have that fender bender, hopefully you don't, but let's say you do at an odd time. Something goes on. It's Saturday night at 11 p.m. You don't have to wait until Monday morning to call some 800 number and talk to someone 3 states away. You've got your agent's phone number right there on your phone because you go to church with him. Your kids go to school together. He lives right down the road. You see each other at the ball games on Friday nights. So it's personal with your local Farm Bureau insurance agent in all 82 counties in this entire state. And if anything does arise and you need to, run it up the chain or up the flagpole, the home offices for Farm Bureau Insurance are in Jackson, Mississippi. It's right here in the state of Mississippi. It doesn't get more local than and personal, the service that you get with Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi. I can't recommend them highly enough. And if you haven't, recently, let them give you a quote. Home, life, auto. It's Farm Bureau Insurance. Go with the home team.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Well, look at what we have here. Christmas come early. Boom. Little green onion country pleasing. That's not all. Little original smoked sausage flavor. That's not all. Jalapeno and cheddar. It has to be one of my favorite, just judging by how much of that stuff I eat. Oh, can't forget. Andouille. Don't be saying andouille, it's andouille. And last, but not least, pork and pineapple, bun size, 3 links bun size. Look at that right there. Be careful. Come on with it. It's mine. Come here, jalapeno. Oh, that's all mine. Country pleasing sausage. The Junction Delis Convenience Redefined, and Prince Oil Company, a match made in heaven. The Junction Deli, fueled by Prince Oil Company. Prince Oil Company has been fueling Central Mississippi since 1960. It's a pretty good little while. Wonderful people. Man, am I ever more tickled that they're a part of the show.
And get to talk about it with Matt Wyatt right here, right now on the Zone 105.9 and worldwide at thezone1059.com.
Back with you. A little bit of time left with you here today on this Friday. Hope y'all are all looking forward to a fun weekend. We'll see how it all plays out. I hope I get a chance to maybe see a little of the baseball scrimmage at State. We'll see if that happens. You know, one primary reason to go is it's supposed to be sunny and a high in the 50s. And compared to the weather we've had, it's like you got to take advantage of getting outside and doing something. And why not maybe go see a little baseball? But we'll see. Yeah, there's plenty to do when it's nice outside. Sven commented on YouTube and said, I didn't even know that Bad Bunny is a thing. I only know Bugs Bunny. You know, Sven, I wish I had thought of that first. There's a joke in there somewhere and a way to illustrate it, because not only is it kind of a joke and, you know, for some of us of a certain age, it's funny. It's really true. I think that's what probably makes it funny. I don't know Bad Bunny, but I sure know Bugs Bunny. Will commented on YouTube and said, I think Janet Jackson's halftime show is the reason YouTube was created. Was it about that time? I don't remember what time it happened. We could probably line it up. Will, let me do some research. You ready? When was YouTube created? 2005. February 14th, 2005. Ready? Janet Jackson halftime show. 2004. Will, it's another joke that absolutely could be true. The original founders couldn't find the clip to halftime show the day afterwards, despite it being all over the news. That may have been what it was. JS290 says, weren't there stories of Dante and Dampier stacking quarters on the top of the backboard? Well, look, here's what I'm going to say about that. I've heard those kinds of stories about all kinds of different people for years. Yeah, since I was a kid. So could somebody jump up and put something on top of the backboard, touch the backboard at the top, put a quarter up there? There's jokes about, somebody even made a comment in the post that I made about Dante Jones that, it was a joke that said somebody had asked him, hey, if I put a dollar bill on top of the backboard, can you jump up there and get it? And he said, no, but if you put a $5 bill up there, I can. Those kinds of things. Whether or not it's actually happened, I don't know. I've just heard that universally almost. Oh, he can stack quarters up on top of the back of the backboard, and stuff like that. However, this from Blake. I referenced the Eric Moles play against Alabama in 94. That I saw it in person, and then the photo of it, sometimes I look at the photo and I just go like, I saw it happen. When it happened and he jumped as high as he did to catch that ball against Alabama, when he did it, the whole stadium, instead of cheering, the whole stadium went, oh, it was like this audible, the whole thing. Oh my, have you ever in your life seen anything like it? It was the weirdest sound. And the picture, I just shared that picture. You'll see what I'm talking about on X. It said, this is, this picture of Moles has the same effect to me that one of Dante Jones dunking. Because you look at the picture. I saw it. I see the picture. It's still hard to believe. Blake texts the Country Pleasing text line and says, I saw Eric Moles stand flat-footed underneath the goal in the 10 gym and jump up and touch the top of the backboard. Now think about that. And Moles is what? 6'2"? So it's like right here. Okay, so did it happen? Flat-footed, underneath the goal, straight up, touch top of the backboard. Well, here's the thing. Look at that picture. Of course he could. He could have. He probably did. I don't think Blake's lying. Real unnamed texter says, I watched Dante when I was at Northwest. Our shortstop was under the rim, ran his mouth the whole game to it. Even got up in his face at one time. Soon after that incident, Dante jumped out of the gym and dunked it and stared at everyone. Our shortstop was escorted out. I don't remember how many points he scored that night, but it was a lot. When smack talk or when trash talking goes wrong. And then this, I really did get a kick out of this one from Miko because, again, we're talking about getting old. And Miko, I'm with you. This stuff happens. It's part of life. Miko said, Matt, my son is a pitcher. He needed the long toss to get his arm ready for the season, and I agreed to do it with him. He got about 30 yards away, and I realized I couldn't get the ball back to him. I had to start hitting it back to him. Couldn't throw it back. I'm with you. You're like, hey, scoot up. Oh, me. It's rough to. The other day I said, Miko, it's hard watching your heroes get old. It's sometimes even worse watching ourselves get old, isn't it? It's just part of it. Y'all will not probably know this name, but I grew up, as a kid in Northwest Alabama in a little town called Russellville. We moved away from there before I went to high school. That's kind of where I grew up. And up in the Shoals area, there was a school back then called Brooks. I think it's consolidated now, maybe, and became something else, but it used to be a school called Brooks. When I was a kid coming up, we would go to Dad would take me to basketball games to watch Russellville play and then watch area teams play and stuff. We were always going and watching games. And I think it was Brooks. Maybe I think I have the name of the school right. I'll look and see. But anyway, they had a player named Rayfield Ragland. He later went on and played basketball at Clemson. And he's now a coach up in the area. He would put on some more show dunking the basketball in high school games. Coffee High School, not Brooks. He went to Coffee High School. That's one of the ones that consolidated. He would put on some unbelievable exhibitions dunking the ball. And they would have they had a local area like Christmas tournament where they would invite, how a lot of areas have like a invitational. You'll have, 6 or 8 different teams and play all day, and it's a fun thing for fans. You can go and watch all those games, see all those players. And we would go to that. We went a couple of years in a row up to the Shoals area and watched that sort of invitational, a bunch of games throughout the day. And in the middle of the 2 night games, they would have like an official dunk contest that they would put on. It was just another thing that sold tickets and it'd bring people in there. And nobody had a chance watching him. And I remembered that was probably, Blake, the first time that I heard somebody go, hey, I heard that Rayfield Ragland can jump up and snatch a dollar bill off the top of the backboard, or put it up there. I think that was the first time I heard it. So that sort of thing's been going on for a while. What do you got? All right, so birthdays today. You want something? Here you go. This is a big one. Born on this day in 1895. The great Bambino, Babe Ruth. Born on this day in 1895, Babe Ruth. How about this? Did you know that Babe Ruth and Ronald Reagan shared a birthday? Yep, Ronald Reagan, who was an actor, 40th president of the United States. Also born on February the 6th, 1911. So late, great Babe Ruth, the late, great Ronald Reagan, both born on this day. Happy birthday to both of them. And thank you for being here on this Friday and being a part of the show. All the texts and the comments on the live stream, YouTube, X, Facebook, phone calls. Got to hear from Reddy Teddy earlier today. That was fun. Really do appreciate you. For Beaver and myself and all of us here on the show in the Bureau, the Farm Bureau Insurance Studio, we will see you on Monday, and we will have a Super Bowl champ. We'll talk about that and more. See you then. See ya.